Dear Nigel, oh bloody hell, today's been another rough one. Sometimes I feel like I'm invisible in this Tory party, like a posh ghost haunting the back benches. I mean, I've got the suits, the speeches, the policies, but it's like no one even notices I'm here. I hope you don't mind me writing to you, but I find myself in a rather dire predicament and could use some sage advice from a seasoned political figure like yourself. As you know, I've been unceremoniously kicked out of number 10. Losing to Keir Starmer was the final nail in the coffin, cementing my term as perhaps the worst in recent history, even more so than Cameron's or Boris's. The shame I've brought to my family is immeasurable, and the weight of that failure is almost unbearable. The only good difference is the press and my wife have finally realized I was still alive. I noticed a disappointment come over her face like our honeymoon night. Now look at me. I'm moving from tent to tent, living off food coupons despite having millions in the bank. The irony is not lost on me. The thought of being in a situation so precarious, almost like an asylum seeker in my own country, is a bitter pill to swallow. How does one cope with such a fall from grace? How can I navigate this period of humiliation and uncertainty? Any tips for staying strong when it feels like the world is tipping you out? Yours anxiously and in need of a personality. Rishi. I might not be British.
Dear Rishi, well, isn't this a delightful turn of events, you sappy bollocks? From the posh grandeur of number 10 to the ignominy of tents and food coupons, quite the narrative arc. Losing to Keir Starmer, that's the kind of embarrassment that makes Cameron and Boris look like Churchill. Really, Rishi, it's almost impressive how you managed to outdo them. At least you finally got noticed when they booted you out on the street. The invisible man got his 15 minutes of fame. The shame you've brought upon your family and the country is one for the history books. Your policies were bland and dull like a trip round IKEA, another foreign brand in this country. But let's get to the point, shall we? You've never really been one of us, have you? Maybe it's time to pack it in and head back to where you truly belong. A one-way ticket to your homeland might be just what the doctor ordered. Consider it a patriotic act, a final service to Britain by getting out of the way. And speaking of Starmer, can you believe you lost to that guy? The man looks like a vegan lesbian haunting a library in the House of Commons. Oh, it's almost laughable. But here we are, you in a tent eating a Greg's leftover steak bake and him in number 10 playing make-believe Prime Minister. Life's a funny old game, isn't it? Thatcher would be turning in her grave. So here's my advice. Take your millions, buy an island and 100 dinghies to transport your comrades. Oh, and make sure to bring a few French frogs with you. They love to adopt foreigners, even more so than Angelina Jolie. Anyway, that's enough advice. I'm off away for a cheeky tikka masala and poppadoms. Nothing screams more British than that. I'd love to give you a bottoms up, but you might drown. So grow a pair of balls, you whining twat. And remember your all-boys Winchester College training. Bend over and assume the position, and think of India, yours, always caring, Nigel Farage, future Prime Minister or Donald Trump's Vice President.